Nathan Liu, NSLI-Y alumnus to China.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Nathan Liu. Can you all hear me? That's good. So I'm 19 years old now. I have a form of juvenile macular degeneration called Stargardt's disease, which has rendered me legally blind. In 2011, I was an exchange student, a NSLI-Y exchange student, and I went to China for 6 weeks over the summer.
What led you to study abroad in China?
My family, I'm partially Chinese on my father's side, and I also grew up in Germany. So ich bin sehr glücklich, ihn kennenzulernen. Anyway, and so that kind of is why I decided to go to China, partly because it's my family's heritage. I've always wanted to go to China. Also, though, I just really love travel. You know, I'd spent a lot of my early life in another country, and that really gave me a much more nuanced perspective of international relations, of different cultures, and I thought to myself, well, I had such a wonderful time in Düsseldorf. That was the city I lived in Germany. I'm sure I can do that too in China. And so my parents were extremely supportive. My father, being a first-generation Chinese American, was very happy, wanted me to, participate in it. My mother, who's also very passionate about disability rights, said this is a great opportunity to show people abroad what disabled people can do. And my teachers were also very supportive. In fact, one of them, a history teacher of mine, helped write a letter of recommendation.
Were there any challenges along the way?
It was a very interesting experience because the application process was very long. There was very arduous, but it was worth it. And what was interesting was that I had actually already gotten accepted into the program, and yet I was having I didn't actually know until the very end whether or not I was even going. And so Tyler Green, who by the way helped me together, he and I and a group of other students founded a disability rights organization called I Am Norm. He asked, well, what are certain countries more accessible than others? And that was something interesting I learned through my experience, is that China is traditionally not necessarily very open to disabled people. And that was actually why I had some initial difficulty, and some uncertainty as to whether or not I would go there. Because usually kids with even relatively mild conditions like mine are sent away to special schools. And so up until about 2 or 3 days before I was actually supposed to get on the flight to Beijing, I didn't know if I would be staying with anyone, and I actually had to contact different people such as Dan Habib, who, Tyler and I have worked with in the past to create I Am Norm, and different other people I'd come up into contact with over time to sort of advocate on my behalf. And then shortly thereafter, I was able to, NSLI-Y found me a host family, and after that it was, I wouldn't say it was smooth sailing, but it was very extremely enjoyable experience.
What was it like when you arrived?
The host family was very kind to me. They were very accommodating, showing me where things were, making sure I didn't get lost, helping me understand the culture, the language, and my teachers were also very accommodating too. They made sure I didn't get lost. They situated me more towards the front of the classroom to make sure that I could see everything, and it was very helpful. And so one thing I learned was that maybe the government of a certain country might have certain policies or a lack thereof regarding disabled people, but individuals really are, regardless of where they come from, are very. I believe human beings we really just want to help each other, and so that's something I learned because, again, my teachers, my host family, they were all very supportive of me, and really I just had an absolutely wonderful experience. It's impacted me in so many ways. I have made long-lasting friendships. I mean, for example, one friend of mine, Gao Yue, I met her in Beijing, and, she's stayed in my house in America. I've stayed at her house in Beijing. She's now going to grad school here. Another friend of mine is, studying at Notre Dame.
What did you take away from your experience?
And so the experience you get also dealing with another education system is very interesting. Say you want to travel as a teacher or as even a diplomat or just a business person. And so, like I said, the experience I got, it helped me get into college because, saying you've traveled to another country, you won a scholarship there, it really shows you, it really shows potential employers and universities what you're capable of. But probably the best experience I had overall with this program just was a chance to show show people in the rest of the world what disabled people could do. Most of my teachers in China had never had a disabled person in their class before, and they were kind of uncertain as to how best to accommodate me or deal with me. But they quickly learned that I, was just like everyone else. Sure, I needed a little more help on certain assignments, but other than that, I could really do everything. I was just as engaged as other kids, and the fact that I was able to open their eyes to a certain extent was very gratifying, and I would just love it if more kids, disabled kids, had the opportunity to go to other places, not just to China, to Iran, to Russia, to Egypt, or anywhere else, and really get a chance to share their stories, make lifelong friends, and, change the perceptions of others regarding disabled people.